Rewatching Star Trek Voyager today. This season 1 joke takes on a whole new meaning. When Star Trek Voyager first premiered in 1995, it boldly launched a new crew, a new quadrant, and an uncharted mission that would test the very fabric of Starfleet principles. But as with all Star Trek series, Voyager knew when to inject levity, even in the direst situations. One particular moment in Season 1, buried beneath the technobabble and Delta Quadrant dangers, seemed like a throwaway gag at the time. But rewatching Voyager today, with nearly 3 decades of hindsight and context, this simple joke resonates in a surprisingly profound and even prophetic way. The moment arrives in Season 1, Episode 3, titled Parallax. While the episode is often remembered for its spatial anomaly and the debate over who sees a reflection versus a real ship classic early Voyager sci-fi, there's a brief but hilarious exchange in the mess hall that plays differently today. As Neelix and Kez begin integrating into shipboard life, Neelix takes offense at Starfleet's rations and begins scavenging for local ingredients. He refers to the replicated food as tasteless Starfleet nutrition blocks, and with a flourish, declares, "I wouldn't serve this to a Cardassian vole." At the time, this line was played for a laugh, the colorful new cook grumbling about bland food, throwing shade at the replicator and making a joke at the expense of a known enemy. For casual viewers, it was a one-liner meant to reinforce Neelix's oddball charm and culinary enthusiasm. But in 2025, that joke lands very differently. Here's why. A cultural shift in Star Trek storytelling. Since Voyager aired, Star Trek has undergone a profound evolution in how it treats food, culture, and diplomacy. Shows like Deep Space Nine, Enterprise, Discovery, and Strange New Worlds have dived deep into the nuances of alien customs, interspecies respect, and the value of understanding cultures beyond Federation norms. What was once an innocent jab at the Cardassians, likening them to vermin, now feels like a subtle relic of a different Starfleet, one less enlightened about cultural sensitivity. Today's Star Trek audiences, who've seen the political and emotional complexity of Cardassians like Garrick, Damar, and even Dukat, can't help but pause at Neelix's joke. The idea of a character mocking another species, even indirectly, by comparing them to creatures unworthy of food may strike viewers as unexpectedly harsh, especially coming from someone like Neelix, who prides himself on hospitality. Neelix as a cultural bridge. Rewatching the episode, it becomes clear that Neelix isn't just a comic relief character. He represents an outsider's view of the Federation, and by extension us. His early disdain for Starfleet cuisine isn't just about taste. It's a symbolic rejection of homogenized ideals. But ironically, his joke about the Cardassians perpetuates the exact kind of cultural dismissal he's rallying against. In later episodes, Neelix grows to embody tolerance, empathy, and diplomacy. He becomes an ambassador, a father figure, a cultural liaison. That makes his early line about the vole even more jarring. It's not that he meant harm, he likely didn't even understand the political implications. But that's what makes the joke so telling today. It's a reminder of how easily stereotypes and prejudice can slip into humor under the guise of ignorance. The Cardassian vole joke, a time capsule of 1990s Trek. The Cardassian vole itself is a fascinating piece of Star Trek lore. Introduced in Deep Space Nine, it became an emblem of the infestation and corruption of Cardassian space stations. The vole's inclusion in Voyager's joke seems innocent enough. Who wouldn't hate a space rat? But as time has passed, the vole has become symbolic. The creature, once played for horror or disgust, now evokes more layered associations. Just as we've come to understand the Cardassians more deeply over the years, we also view the imagery connected to them through a different lens. The joke isn't just about food or rats. It reflects how Voyager was still operating within a specific post-TNG, pre-DS9 depth paradigm. In Season 1, the Federation still saw its enemies as punchlines, Klingons, Ferengi, Cardassians, before Star Trek took a harder look at its own biases. What seemed like harmless banter in 1995 now serves as a quiet checkpoint in the franchise's moral growth. Why this joke matters now. In a world that increasingly values representation, empathy, and intercultural respect, even in fiction, rewatching this moment in Voyager reminds us of how storytelling evolves. It's not about condemning the writers or Neelix. It's about acknowledging how even light-hearted dialogue reflects the values of its time. And just as Star Trek challenges its characters to grow, it asks us to do the same. That one joke, tossed off in a mess hall, now feels like a miniature case study in sci-fi franchise, is never finished. And